Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Kind of enjoyed building that steam engine with Aaron, so thought I'd make one for myself. Decided to make a 2-cylinder. Pretty much followed the same plans. Just had to change this back mounting plate, and of course the crankshaft connections were a little different, but that's my version. And I made the head square this time instead of round, just so it was different. One of my home cast flywheels again. And I made a little manifold here. It wasn't a good way to put the plumbing on this thing. I didn't really want it up in here cluttering things up, so I decided to run them down through and then over and around into this manifold. This is one direction clockwise, this is counterclockwise. But she turns nice, runs nice. Put a little air to it. I don't know how much air pressure that is. It won't read on the gauge, so it's only like a couple of pounds. I let it sit there and run for an hour or so. Never missed a beat. That's pretty amazing. The garage is a mess again. How much stuff you got to get out to do a little project. Of course, I decided to cast this base, so I had to make a quick wooden pattern, and I don't know. While I was making a pattern, I started the furnace up, and within an hour I had this board and waiting to cool, so really didn't take that long to do it. But yeah, I can turn the pressure up a little bit. You say you want it to go the other way. And there isn't any gaskets on these heads or anything, and I see this one's got a little oil leaking, so apparently we got a little leakage there. I'm going to pop you off the tripod and show you my last video. We did the bandsaw project, and I was cutting these parts out, some of that aluminum plate on my other bandsaw, which had a metal cutting blade and it real fine teeth. So I thought, I wonder how this one I'm going to use for wood would work on aluminum. Well, as you can see, worked pretty darn good. And that's some inch-thick aluminum that I cut on it for the cylinders. And this was a piece of the 1/2-inch stuff that I used for the upright bracket. And it did a really good job. And I also, to run them steam engines when we go to the shows, I had this little diaphragm compressor, and I'm going to try to made it with I've got an old Briggs, I don't know, maybe a WMB with a kickstart. I'm going to try to marry the two together to make a little air for these engines when we go to the engine show. And this one had a bad diaphragm. So I had some material that's supposed to be for fuel pump diaphragms, which look very similar to that. So I made one, and I think she's going to work fine. And I also got the parts for the plasma cutter track, and I got that all done. That's the control panel. Got your direction switch here, left and right, power on and off. This will turn the torch on, and this will change the speed. And I got my connection. I just got a separate wire that I run over to the plasma cutter, and this fits right in there. That way I don't have to mess around with my torch at all. It just stays normal. So I got that project finished. So just kind of a quick video with an update. No real machining or anything. I also decided that I didn't like this part of the blade being exposed, so I come up with this little guard. Thought it'd make it a little bit safer. And if any of you guys want to see the building of the single cylinder wobbler, check out one of my other videos. And that bandsaw was also a project, as was the plasma cutter track. So check them out if you like. So if you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like. See you next time.